Hi guys. Um, I heard the news earlier that a new Doom trailer has dropped. I missed it by about 10 minutes, I think, of the live showcase. I was doing other things and I had to go out in the evening. I've literally just come back and I wanted to give it proper attention. I didn't want to look at it on my phone, kind of halfway through doing other things. I wanted to sit down and properly look at it. I've seen it's like maybe a minute and a half, if that, something like that. I've got the trailer loaded up. I'm so excited. Doom Eternal is probably the game. Well, it is the game I've ploughed the most hours into ever. Um, what an amazing follow up from Doom 2016. The combat loop is incredible, insane. Oh my god, I just can't wait to see what they've done with the franchise and where it's going. I know it's called the Dark Ages, which I know were the rumors beforehand. My theory previously was that it was maybe they were looking at marrying a lot of those different games into one. So maybe things like a hexen element of it, because those titles, in my opinion, wouldn't warrant a complete reboot of that particular game. So I thought maybe them going backwards a little bit would allow them to still do something in the Doom universe, but that touched on lots of those other elements of different titles that had been available beforehand. Whew. So honestly, I can't tell you how excited I am. I can't wait. So, okay. Without further ado, okay, please be good. Please be good. Please be good. Here we go. It's the super weapon of gods and kings. Super shotgun still there. Yes. Shield. Interesting. What gun's that? Frisbee slicer. Oh, pinned him to the environment. Gladiator type. Wow. Coming 2025. Yes, to PS5. Oh my god. I was really worried. I was really worried it was going to be an Xbox exclusive. I was really worried about that. So I'm so glad it's coming to PS5. You know what? That looks really interesting. I've got to say, a bit different to how I imagined it. Maybe looking? I will have to go back to the footage and maybe look at the enemies. The enemy design looked a bit kind of simplified, but I don't know if that's just because obviously this is a very quick kind of trailer teaser. The enemies looked a little bit maybe not as detailed, and it could be, obviously it would make sense, I guess, because in Doom Eternal we were looking at them with lots of different kind of robotics into them, lots of cybernetics. Well, obviously this is the Dark Ages, so everything's much more wild, if you want to call it that. So I completely get that. but I meant the detailing of the enemy features and things like that seemed maybe more simpler than I was expecting. But there were some really interesting things there. I love the slicer. That's almost like it's almost like having the destroyer blade, a mini destroyer blade on demand, coming out as a frisbee. I love that they kept the super shotgun. It's obviously, well, I say obviously, it looks like a slower game, as in slower pace. He seems heavier. He seems like having more gravitas about his movement. I didn't see any kind of jumping or traversing or anything like that, which is a shame because I thought that was only really getting explored in Doom Eternal, and it was only being introduced to a lot of the player base. I think the people that were really exploiting it and using it to its maximum were those players that were really familiar with it. But for a lot of people, I don't think they were actually utilizing it as much. However, really cool looking weapons. I love the fact that you can pin enemies to the environment with these that kind of arrow kind of thing, kind of almost like a ballista thing. The music sounded great, as you would expect. I'm sure it's not Mick Gordon, but I don't really mind. The music sounded great. I'm just over the moon that we've had something, that it looks cool. I want to see more. There's obviously the mech element of it, so they're going again very bombastic. I mean, Doom Eternal was quite bombastic, so I guess they're going even further down that road. There was elements of kind of fighting, maybe even bigger kind of demons and enemies. So it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, much more probably hands-on combat rather than being a nimble killing machine. You are a wrecking ball that's just walking through these kind of ancient areas, just demolishing things as you go. I'm going to have to rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it. But my first impressions, over the moon that it's not ages away, over the moon that it's cross-platform, as in it's PS5 as well as Xbox, and over the moon that it just looks cool. Obviously, very early impressions. Yeah, I just want to see more. I want to see like when they showcased the Super Gore Nest for Doom Eternal. I remember when they showcased that, almost the entire first arena, and having the audience reaction to it. I think that was at QuakeCon. I want something like that for this, because then you get a better idea of how the combat feels, how the enemies react. You get to see more of the details as well. Really cool. Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. Really happy. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know what you thought of it. See you soon.